Greeting fellow modelers, welcome to part 4 of our build of the hobby model or fly model F-105 Thunderchief. We're going to go into details, assembling the stabilizer, putting on the details, the things that really make this model come alive. You shall see, including the main wing. Let's begin. We're going to start with the brake chute door, but then the details for the engine inlet and the dorsal fin, those things we will deal with later. So the small parts is really the magic that brings this kit together. Here we're putting on just that raised part onto the brake chute door. Then we cut out the door itself. We're going to paint the edge again. The magic in these models is always paint the edge. You'd be surprised at how much it brings the realism out. Putting a half circle or a bit of curve in it, glue in position, and that is that. Brake door installed. So let's go to the cooling duct assembly. In studying about the Thunderchief, I didn't know that the engines, while idle or going to the flight line, they would burn up. So to add extra cooling, the ducts were added close to the rear of the engine, and it really helped tremendously in putting out the fires. So here you see I took off an extra thickness of the paper before I slowly formed the duct inlet. Again, remember, these model originally is 1/33 scale. So of course, this would look a little bit challenging, but the truth is it's really small. So you should be good, really good, because this is less than 50% the original size. And now we put the base plate for that cooling duct intake. We put it on to its metal plate. Put that part there now. Apply the duct. And then we put this in position and we should be good to go. I love the wraparound scheme. And these model, especially these detail, bring the model to life, and I just love it. Here now we carefully place in position. I wish that hobby model or fly model Gomix would bring this kit back, modernize it, have it done on the computer and bring it back. And here we put the other side, which is gray. This UR1 wraparound scheme really is impressive, and I like the result. Now we're looking to make sure the alignment is correct, and once we're confirmed, we're just going to paint the inside of those doors and it should be good. So let's go to the ventral fin assembly. This here underneath would also have the tail hook. In case for emergency stopping on the runway, the hook would then be released from this area. It also helps with the stability of the model. Here you see I use a cake decorating tool to put in that slight compound curve. Then we can join the pieces. Beautiful setup, really love it. Once that's done, we then just put in the area here that will take the tail hook. Put some glue on the side and then we install in position. Use our tweezers, lock everything up. Nice. Let's just clean it up, shall we? And there, my friend, is your ventral fin installed. The stabilizer assembly. I was surprised at, compared to the model, how small the stabilizer is. I did a double take because truly it is really small, but then totally effective because I figure the total stabilizer is upward downward deflection and it works. Notice how I put in those curves not only lengthwise for the airfoil shape but also the base where it joins the fuselage. Now here I am putting in a joiner tab, which is basically a thin sheet of typing paper or bond sheet, which is usually like 70 grams. And that way it makes the joint neat and it gives the aerofoil a purer, nicer look. And once we join those, the trailing edge can be locked up, but definitely the leading edge need that curve. So here we just simply press against the flat surface, lock up the trailing edge, and my friends, we are good to go. Look at that beauty. Nice. Paint the edges, always religiously paint the edges. That will make the difference between a good looking model and a great looking model. Let's mate it to the fuselage. So we're going to take our toothpick. We made holes on both sides, and then we're going to make sure it is level. So once we put in, we check the levels, and we're going to put a slight break on either side. Once that's done, we then put our stabilizer on. And pretty much that is it. Locked in place, we are good to go. Again, make sure you check that everything is aligned. Make sure your stabilizer is aligned to the joint itself, and it should be great. I really truly love how this THUNDERCHIEF turned out. And for it to be a paper model, just icing on the cake. Look at that beauty. Nice. So the nose gear landing door. Again, I loved how this turned out. We just simply double. Once we lock this up, we cut out and we install. When I did the recolor for this, I was just pleasantly surprised at how the wraparound scheme worked out. It took a while to get it done, and I'm really hoping the author, anybody associated with this work or the copyright of it, will get in touch with me one day so I can just pass this on. It would be great to see this being redone out there. Nice. Simple installation, works well. Look at that. 419 Tactical Fighter Wing. Engine inlet assembly, the trademark of your THUNDERCHIEF. Those reverse looking, the first fighter, modern fighter that I can recall with this similar type of setup. Correct me if I may be wrong, because I'm sure there are probably others, but the closest I see now, the latest fighter, is the F-35 with that reverse inlet tip. And here you see how the shape is with the molding of the engine inlet. Now those excess pieces that you see out, those are joint tabs. So here you see we have to put now that cut in there, because that now will retain the shape of your model. So here you see now, apply the glue. The technical details to do this. Hats off to the designer who made this possible, to really sit and to think how to achieve these. It's just something totally beautiful. Here we use our tweezers to level it, and we are now going to integrate it into the main wing assembly. So it comes in different flavor. We're going to cut out the lower half of the wing, and once we do, we're going to put that curve in. Before fully cutting out where the wheel well entrance is, I curved it because it will help with the shape. And just like what we did with the stabilizer, we're going to now put in our joint tab. Now this joint tab, again, it is bond paper, 70 grams. And once we do this, we'll have a beautiful leading edge and tip. However, unlike the stabilizer, what we're going to do is add the trailing edge. We're going to put stock in there because it's a bit thicker. And also it helps with the accommodation for the landing gear. So here now we're putting in another set of joint tab in the trailing edge area, and that helps. Always press against the flat surface so you make sure that your wing is level. Look at the integration now of the engine inlet with it. Beautiful. Look at that joint. Take the time to just make sure everything is aligned, and then you can lock up everything. It's not a sport where you have to rush it. So the more time you take to gently align everything and glue everything together is the better your model will look. So now the main landing gear wheel well, we're now installing. Beautiful. Fold it up nicely, neatly. We just make sure to all the tabs are placed incorrectly, and then we can slowly join everything together. Now these are the wing reinforcement tabs. So the spar for the wing, we're going to put along the leading edge of the landing gear, and pay careful attention. Those of you who can get this kit, just pay attention to this part because it's very important. Now, the difference I made is because of how I designed it or how I built it, I cut that spar in half and then take care of the landing gear wheel well. My hope is that once completed, I can then align both the leading edge by looking on it. But here now we're putting in the inside rib. That part will fit onto the base of the fuselage, and we just make sure everything is properly aligned. Care must be taken. And once you do this, you can then lock it down with super glue if you have. It really is going to help you here. Nice. And now we can install this. And this is where absolute care must be taken to make sure once you even lock this up, that those joint tabs to the fuselage is aligned properly with where the wing is supposed to be. So this is how you integrate it now. Generous amount of glue on the wing root. Check that everything is aligned. The wing is level. It's not at any dihedra, that it is straight or slightly drooped. And once you check the alignment and everything is good, you're good to go. And that, my friend, basically is where we will stop today. Thanks to all my Patreon members who make this possible. Take care, walk good, relax always, and catch you next time. One love.